Hi everyone, this is Editing Laura. Just wanted to let you know we had a small microphone issue at the start, and that's why you can't really hear Summer very well. But we did fix it, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of The Girls Who Cried Wolf. I'm Laura, just in case you needed the reminder. And today, this is Summer's fabulous suggestion. Complaint. It's a suggestion. We shall be discussing the
Kind of quite a myriad of things. So, anti-intellectualism, Booktok, and
why it's all connected and why it's terrible.
Yeah, kind of how modern technology has reshaped the way that we consume all content, namely literature, and kind of the pitfalls of that, and that's a good thing, etc., etc. Yeah, just kind of
All that good stuff,
a little bit of cultural criticism for you,
which we're very good at doing.
Monday morning.
So grab a little snack, or we're having some red wine in a mug. So we're gonna pretend it's a cup of tea, but on my sofa. This is Summer's first time in my flat.
Yeah, it's very, very nice.
Thank you. It's very weird that you haven't been here yet. I find it very odd. Yeah, it just all fell apart. Just wanted to start off by reading some of the comments we've been getting. We have. We're not sorry for that.
Okay, sorry.
We're not sorry. We've got a few more to read out because you've all been very, very nice. So the first one is on Instagram from cads_sx, who said, "This is the best podcast I've ever listened to. I'm heading to the bookstore right now to grab your favorites," which is so sweet. Thank you so much. Really sweet. Made us tear up a bit. Big softies that we are.
Yeah. Very, very nice. Thank you for taking the time.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. We really appreciate every single one of these comments. Do you have the other Instagram comments up? You grab those. I've got one here from Apple Podcasts from LSR1932. The tone of the podcast is lighthearted but very interesting. I'd be curious to hear more about the authors and the elements in their lives and the books you recommend, main themes, or about character style.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something
we'd like to touch upon.
To do. But I think these first few episodes, obviously, we've been finding our feet.
Yeah.
They haven't necessarily been deep dives that we will be doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Next week is going to be
a deep dive.
Sure.
Yeah. And we got 5 stars, so I'm happy with 5 stars.
And I'm like number 3 podcast in Luxembourg.
Yeah, I know, crazy. And Jordan. Like, what? Wait, we were number 1 in Jordan. Wait, number 7 in Jordan, number 4 in Luxembourg. I don't know, but Jordan people, if you're listening, we love you. 2 from Spotify, from Freya Beth saying, "Love the takes," and 1 from Dara saying, "Is this friendship a legacy of the Raccoon Bitch era?" Raccoon Bitch is my old Instagram TikTok username, so yes, it is. Yes, she has never died. She's just retired. I'm so scared of her. Oh wow. Okay, I'll take it. I'm happy with that. And then the other 2 on Instagram we had were from. Do you have them up?
Yes. Dracula's daughter said, "Truly, what is scarier than a woman with a podcast?"
Nothing. The 2 women with a podcast.
3, 4, 5.
Guests welcome, guys.
Yes. Because last week was a gothic lit oriented.
Super fun.
Spooky stuff. And then I might butcher this username, but this is one of your friends. So just
Deg Julie. Deg Julie.
I don't know. I wasn't sure. Says fuel for tomorrow's hot girl walk.
And we hope we're the fuel for every hot girl walk ever. We are. I kind of think, in a sense, to segue onto our topic, we're kind of victims of our own, product. Like, we're also kind of dumbing down literature in a sense, but I think hopefully in a way that is more digestible rather than dumb, if that makes sense. That's kind of our aim.
Yeah, because this episode is all kind of oriented around whether or not modern technology and Booktok is making literature more accessible, digestible, or whether it's becoming oversimplified and kind of losing the art of good writing, if you will.
Yeah. And just before we start off, because I know you're going to start off for summer, I just wanted to give a definition for anti-intellectualism, which is something that we're going to be discussing today. So, anti-intellectualism is a social and cultural phenomenon that is characterized by the devaluation, distrust, or suspicion of intellect, intellectualism, and intellectual pursuits. So, this would be, for example, people saying like, you know, a lot of people devaluing going to university or college. Obviously, you don't need that to be successful, but the negative kind of way it's being spoken about online, or the kind of promotion of chat gpt and stuff. I've seen, do you see the tube ads? They've got ads on the tube, chat gpt and for Scientology. King's Cross, I'm watching you.
So I think a really good way to kind of jumpstart this episode is to talk about Virginia Woolf's essay collection, Moments of Being, because she's our namesake. You know, she's got to come up.
We do love her here.
We love her, and you know, we've named ourselves after her. So decided it's going to be a little running theme for these episodes. But yeah, so Moments of Being was a posthumous essay collection. They were autobiographical, and kind of the title concept she defined as moments of being as moments in which an individual experiences a sense of reality in contrast to the states of non-being that dominate most of an individual's conscious life, in which they are separated from reality by a protective covering. Moments of being could be a result of instances of shock, discovery, or revelation. That's a little summary that Wikipedia gave to me.
Thank you, Wikipedia.
Thank you, Wikipedia. And I think the gist of what she was kind of trying to put across was that we need to be sort of more present in real life and just more in touch with our consciousness.
And if it was bad when she was writing this, like, you can only imagine how bad
like,
it is now.
A couple hundred years ago, and this is like only more relevant now, I feel. But yeah, so one quote that I quite liked from that was, do you want to read that out?
I have a feeling that I shall go on living, that there is something of which I am a part. This great thing, this mind which is forever and ever, I am part of it.
So I think, yeah,
it's kind of beautiful quote from her.
Great quote. But I think, yeah, she kind of just advocates for us to be more present, in touch with ourselves. And I think in society nowadays, yeah, that really is quite relevant. And it kind of, to me, like begged the question, like, how does modern technology and kind of this doom scroll culture that we've become so accustomed to, like, alter these ideas? And are we becoming more distanced from reality and like living a bit more genuinely because of technology and our kind of connection to it?
I feel like this is a very present thing. I'm gonna get woo-woo as usual.
I love woo-woo.
Looking at it from a kind of religious and spiritual context, I feel like it's a very big thing in a lot of kind of philosophies even, and religions and stuff. Just this idea of being present and being like living life in the moment. And mindfulness and meditation and stuff, all things that I'm really big fans of. I think that I think everybody should meditate. I think it's the only way to there's this influencer I follow, and she's actually a meditation teacher, and she's so cool. And I think her name's Mazia Welters or something.
Put that in the description.
Yeah, we can put that in the description, or on our Substack, which if you would like to check out, we do upload our reading list every week for the episode, and any music or films or TV shows or anything at all that we mentioned, just in case you didn't grab it. But the only way to rewire your brain is to do the same thing every day. So unless you don't, like, I've been trying so hard, it's so difficult to not wake up and go on TikTok and go on Instagram Reels, sorry.
Like, what is that doing?
Every morning I wake up and I go on Instagram Reels, and it's so annoying, and it just starts my day off so wrong. And then I'm like, right, okay, now it's time to meditate, but it's like, now I've just ruined my
breaking that loop,
like theta waves of the morning. So there you go. But yeah, I think everybody should just try and be a bit more present. Like, it's kind of maybe not a like super healthy thing, but every time I have a cigarette, I try and like not go on my phone, because the easiest thing, this sounds so dumb, but like the easiest thing is to have a cigarette, because I do smoke a lot, and just sit on my phone and like go on Instagram Reels or something, or like Reddit or whatever. But if I'm just present in smoking the cigarette, then I get more satisfaction out of it. And it's just like a small, like, that's not going to last me more than 5 minutes.
No, but I think for sure if you build that association with being off your phone while you're doing a certain activity.
And I don't mean that everybody should be smoking cigarettes. I just mean that everybody should, just take a small time frame.
Spend time making a nice meal, and just like don't touch any kind of screen.
Or get your nails done and just exist.
What happened to just existing?
That's the thing. Like, I just feel like everything is so quick.
Yeah.
I mean, we do live in London. It's
Yeah.
really difficult for everything not to be so quick. If
Actually,
somebody's walking on the
yeah.
tube in the tube, and I'm just like, get out of my
Yeah.
way now.
Yeah.
But we all
Yeah.
need to slow down a bit.
I'm gonna say my catchphrase again. I did a piece of creative writing.
Oh,
This.
oh,
I'm not gonna read it out.
oh.
But
Can I read it
Yeah.
after?
Yes. Yes. Well, I mean, if it becomes relevant, maybe I'll read a snippet. But
What was it on?
It was called "In Praise of Waiting." It was literally on that.
Ooh, can you read us the start? First sentence.
Sure. If I can find it.
Waiting is
Okay.
the thing about when I didn't have a phone was the
The
one thing about not having my phone when my phone got stolen was that I was a lot more present, and I do feel like I remember
Absolutely.
despite us finishing exams and basically going ham like every single day for like a week, I don't have like any blackout situations because I was just so present in everything.
Yeah, and I'm sure that week like sticks out to you a bit more.
Yeah,
more memory.
It does. It was actually a really lovely week of my life, and I felt a lot more connected to people than I have through the phone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I agree for sure.
Except for us, we are always connected.
Yes.
We are always on the same brainwave.
Yes.
Same brain cell.
Yeah. Is it worth me reading a sentence or two?
Please, please.
It's a bit woo woo. It's very woo woo.
Ooh, I love a
woo
woo.
The second sentence is maybe relevant. And I wrote, does a watched pot really never boil, or does it just reveal our inability to be still long enough to see its steam rise? There's a little metaphor.
Draw on the floor.
No.
Draw drop.
I know, but yeah,
that's very good.
Well, no, but I kind of wanted to use like that idiom of like, watched pot never boils, and like delve into why, and things. Like, yeah.
That's very true because I think the thing that a lot of people hate the most in the world is to wait.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, but what are we waiting for?
Exactly.
Like maybe the waiting is we should relish in the waiting a bit more, I think.
That's this entire piece. And then later on I said we need to let our desires breathe before we suffocate them with fulfillment. Because I was reading this.
Ooh, a whole meal. Like actually devoured through the summer.
No, sharing my writing is scary, but I'm getting over it. But there have been like so many psychological studies kind of stating to the effect that like in terms of dopamine levels, they are higher when you're excited and waiting for something than they are when like that thing is fulfilled.
Oh, 100%.
So like you'll be, I don't know, say you have something in the mail, you'll be more excited while it's arriving, and then once it comes, you'll just feel like, oh, okay, what's next?
Yeah, no, 100%. I can agree with that. My shopping problem can also agree with that. As we all know, my shopping problem. I'm nipping it in the bud. I've gotten better. But I think that also applies to books. Because something I noticed recently is for my Victorian module, we're reading North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell, which is really, really good. I'm really enjoying it, but it is 400 pages and it does get very repetitive very quick. Even though the chapters are very short and very digestible. However, I was just trying to force myself. I was like, right, just read 50 pages, then you're good. Read, like this was me yesterday. I was like, read another chapter and then you're good. And it's like, what am I rushing myself for? I have nothing to do. Like why, when I read, I need to set myself X amount of chapters, X amount of pages, X amount of time to get that reading in. And I'm aware that we read a lot for our degree, but like what is going to happen when I'm done reading? Will I go on my phone?
I think it's a really weird sort of catch-22 situation nowadays, in that we have more time for things but we feel like we have less. Maybe that's just like to do with like being young, I don't know, but I think being that the world moves so fast around you, it's difficult to remember that you can take things slowly and sort of take time with things.
I think I also
living in like London.
I
think that's a big contributing factor. But
something that's really bad for me is that I'm always doing a million things at a time. And it's like I'm gonna be thinking about the podcast, but I'm also thinking about the essay I've got due next week. And actually tomorrow, oh my god. Anyways, I'll do that tomorrow.
No, literally, but I get distracted.
No, I just remembered I actually have an essay due tomorrow at midnight that I haven't started.
Ooh.
Anyways, I'll get on with that.
That's okay.
That's fine. That's fine. I remembered now. Thank you, Laura. It's brain. This is what I mean. Like I've got a million, and I just never sit down. No, I did my film one. This is my this is the reading the film of the play one. You've got it due tomorrow as well, midnight.
But
have you done it?
It's optional.
Yeah, but optional isn't optional, really, is it?
No, but I have not started.
We can library tomorrow if you want.
It might be a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
we don't. Oh my god, I have to tell you about the silly thing I did
Oh,
this weekend.
is this being in the podcast? Or is this for?
This is
Okay.
my shame can be shared.
Okay.
So you know how you have to bleed a radiator, right?
Yes.
But I googled it and I just read the
Actually,
word.
no, I didn't know.
Okay, so basically, sorry, sirens. This is what happens in central London. So basically, if you turn a radiator and you let the
Yes.
air out, it helps the air circulate.
I thought they were like filled with oil.
They're filled with water, babe.
Oh,
That's how it heats up.
but I thought it was oil.
No, because oil to heat up would be very dangerous.
Oh,
And
okay.
it is
Anyway.
it's hot water.
Oh.
So I just assumed if I bleeding, I must take the water out. So I took all the water out my radiator.
How?
So now it just all just came out.
On purpose?
Well, yeah, I just let it all come out. I had a cup
Where did it come out?
of the side, like you know the side there, and I had a key. I bought a key. I turned it, and all the water came out my radiator, and I was like,
Which one? One of these?
No, the one in my
Oh,
room,
oh,
which
okay.
also didn't work before.
Nice.
But now I fucked up the water pressure in my entire house, so I have no
Oh.
hot water.
Mm.
So I had to call the boiler people all by myself, and then they obviously couldn't come because it was a Saturday, and they obviously didn't answer because it's a Sunday today. So, anyways,
Okay.
sorry, back to our actual topic.
Yes.
What were we talking about?
Okay.
Doom scrolling.
Yes. Well, I think that's fairly touched upon.
Do you think that like the way that we consume literature has been changed by
Yes.
technology?
Yeah. So I think that's.
Or is it just the way we have access to it?
I think
like, do you think
really
it's consumption and access?
I think that's really great food for thought. I think at first, or like at an initial glance, it seems like it's just the way we access it that's being reshaped. Like consider like Kindles, audiobooks, PDFs, etc., etc. Any kind of consumption of literature that isn't physical, i.e., print, I think has more of a cachet to it than you might expect at first. And there are a couple of really interesting studies on that.
I can't read on the computer.
No.
I can't do it. I can't read a novel on the computer.
Everyone's like, oh, why do you buy all your books for uni? And I'm like, I hate reading online.
But no one actually reads them either.
No, exactly. I think like it just doesn't go into my brain in the same
Also,
way.
if I've spent the money, like I have the
absolutely.
The like how do you say? The like nudge to read.
100%. I agree. But yeah, there have been some really interesting studies on that. One of them was about kind of the inattentiveness of on-screen reading. And this was a study from 2020 by, excuse my pronunciation, Delgado and Salmeron. That's about right. That said reading medium affects attention and reading comprehension under time pressure. And they found that reading under time pressure, or on screen versus print, was associated with more mind wandering and lower comprehension. And I think that definitely feels true to me, definitely resonates.
Sorry, we just had to open the second bottle of wine.
Lara's just poured me
it wasn't a
wine.
It was like a bit was open, and then now we were on to the second one, to the Sicilian wine, the Sicilian red.
Excellent.
I feel like I'm the Sicilian red today with my nails.
I remember when we went to Devonshire.
Oh my god, yeah. And we had that fabulous bottle of Nero d'Avola. That was so good. I think about that wine all the time.
No, because this was where I used to work. And our server, Orla, shout out, love her, brings over the wine list, and I'm like, Lara, what do you want? She's like, Sicilian.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Yes,
I don't look.
Absolutely.
My criteria is like wine list. So I look for whatever says Italy, and then if there's multiple Italian ones, the closer to Sicily, the better. And that's just a rule that I think everyone should have. Have a Nero d'Avola, it will heal you.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe I haven't taken you to Lucca yet. I work in an Italian restaurant and I haven't taken you. What?
Oh, I've got wine everywhere. Okay, I'm Charlie XCX for Halloween.
Oh no.
This is a Primark top.
Okay.
This is my fault. Did it go on the mic?
Yeah. So the gist of that study was basically that reading in a digital format is worse for your attention span and your focus than reading something physically. And I think
I agree 100%. Don't even need a study for that.
I think as well as it just being on a screen, it's the seeing what other tabs you have open, seeing the time in like the top corner,
getting notifications.
Yeah, 100%. And it's no wonder that you get sidetracked.
Yeah, like even if you're reading something on Safari, what kills me is like my like saved tabs at the top, like the favorites tab.
Yeah,
always kills me. Or I look at like 21 notifications on WhatsApp. Like let me answer everyone. It's just it's absolutely deadly. Can't do any reading on the phone. Can't do. I wish we could have printed copies of our reading, I think I'd
Yeah.
do a lot better of it.
100%.
But it
I
is
really agree.
difficult sometimes to print out a
Yeah.
50-page article.
Yeah.
Not great for the bank, not great for the planet,
Yeah. But
not great for the mind.
yeah, I mean, I think when you have a physical like form of reading, i.e. book,
It's just
essay,
more
whatever,
pleasant.
and you're obviously less distracted because you've just got the page in front of you and like nothing else is going on. You kind of, and I think it's quite nice to lose track of time in that way because yeah, you don't feel like you're having to hurry.
Yeah.
Just take your time with things.
I do really enjoy when I have time to like sit. If I
Yeah.
come back from the pub or something, which is what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do later, to read the Duchess of Malfi, I just like to sit down and like read,
Yeah.
even if I'm a bit,
Yeah.
drunk or something. But sometimes it just helps me lose track of time and like remember
Yeah.
why I love reading so much.
Yeah.
Which is sad
No,
that I need a
absolutely.
drink to remember that. But
I think you need a drink. But
I don't need a drink. But
But, like-
sometimes it's what helps me remember when I just completely lose track of time.
yeah.
Or if it's like a lazy Sunday and I've done nothing and I just sit and read all
Yeah.
day.
Mhm.
That's like my favorite thing
Yeah.
to do.
No, absolutely. Yeah, and just kind of to back up that previous point a little bit more, there was another study this year by Poles, I assume that's just the surname, called Impact of Social Media Usage on Attention Spans, and they found a negative correlation between frequent social media use, especially rapid fragmented content, i.e.
Short
TikTok,
form, yeah.
Instagram, Reels, etc., etc.
YouTube Shorts, for those who are so inclined. Me included.
I love a YouTube Short sometimes. And sustained attention spans, working memory, and cognitive control. And I think the way, like, yeah, short form content isn't necessarily destroying our ability to focus, but it's just changing the way.
Well, 100% it is. I disagree with
Yeah.
you. I think it's definitely.
I'm trying to be a bit democratic, but I don't want to be.
There's no need to. Okay, right. Basically,
Yeah.
the thing, the TLDR
Short form
is
content sucks.
we hate short form content. We
Yes.
hate content. We hate TikTok. We hate Instagram Reels. We hate YouTube Shorts. We're not Facebook Reels. Whatever. We're not going to discriminate
Facebook
here.
Reels. All right.
I've had lows, Summer.
Okay.
I've had lows.
All right.
My mum sends me Facebook Reels sometimes.
Yeah.
So
But I think
I watch. Anyways, the point is we don't fuck with them because we fuck with them so much. Because we are on.
I have been victim.
Instagram.
100%.
The worst thing ever is to be self-aware and an Instagram Reels addict.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing ever.
But I think
you can't take it off.
I think it's really coming into like every sphere of life though. Like even beyond just like social media, like everything is kind of short form nowadays. Like consider, I mean, the existence of dating apps. Like you just have a stream of people.
And it just feels like pretend.
You would never meet in real life, and it does feel pretend. It feels like
like a game.
But you just, I think it just makes people and things and experiences feel a lot more disposable.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, oh yeah, not my vibe, pass.
Or sometimes you just, like something and then they text you 6 months later and it's, you know, you don't want to see that.
Kesha?
No.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the concept of deep reading?
Yes.
To get back to
yeah.
This is our most
the irony of us getting sidetracked.
This is our most sidetracked episode yet as well.
Oh, this sucks. Okay, we're locking in. No more tangents.
We said that 5 minutes ago.
Should we do? Okay, it's 5:48 now. Should we do 12 minutes without any tangents?
Okay, let's.
Okay, 12 minutes from now, there will be no sidetracks. Everything is fine. Okay,
we can do this. We can do this.
The idea of deep reading comes from Marianne Wolf's Reader Come Home. That's Wolf 10, not to be confused with
2 O's, like us.
So the gist of what she says is that the reading brain is plastic.
Plastic in the sense that like it can change.
Yes.
By the way, not in the sense that it's like bad for the planet and the turtles and such.
But yeah, A-level psychology working its way back into my life. Like plasticity is the idea that your brain is morphable, changeable, and it changes in accordance with your experiences and how you treat it, etc. And yeah, she sort of says that the brain reconfigures itself to read, and it recycles older neural circuits meant for vision and language. And because it's adaptable, it's also vulnerable to the environments we place it in, i.e. digital and print once again. So when we read on screens, we skim, scan, jump between like different links, different posts. We're teaching our brains to read with efficiency more than depth.
Or enjoyment.
Yeah. She says we're not only what we read, we are how we read. And she isn't anti-digital per se. She just proposes cultivating this kind of slightly more biliterate brain, one that can move between deeper, slower print reading and efficient digital scanning. And her kind of conclusion there is that the key is awareness, the knowing when to slow down, reflect, and read deeper.
I think that's really
Which is,
fabulous.
yeah, I think, yeah. I mean, I only discovered who she was for this episode, but I really want to explore that a bit more in my own time, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really enjoy her ideas, and I think that's so true that awareness is such an important part of why our reading is going so badly, because I think a lot of people are unaware of the real damage, that they think it's harmless to just, you've had a long day, you want to spend 10 minutes on your phone, 10 minutes becomes an hour.
The 10 minutes is never 10 minutes.
It's never 10 minutes, and it's fair that everyone is, tired and wants to rest. But unfortunately, your brain just does not rest if you're consuming that much short form content. And that's the truth of the matter.
My mum said something to me years and years ago on that sort of thing, that doom scrolling, which wasn't a word when we were talking about this, kind of comes from an attempt to find the end. And like, when you're reading a book, you read until the defined endpoint and then you're done. Scrolling, there's no end. Like, but because of just the formatting, you just kind of keep going. You're like, all right, I'll be done when blah blah blah.
Yeah, or I'll be done at 45. I'll be done at, and then, 2 more videos and then I'm done.
Yeah, like
I'm never satisfied.
You'll be done at 2:45 and then it hits 2:46 and you're like, okay, I'm done at 3.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, I think that's kind of, I mean, a cage of our own making.
I think the modern brain is very weak.
Yeah.
And I think that the lack of discipline and the lack of regiment that we have for ourselves is very much a big form of disrespect to our own selves, because you don't think you are important enough. Like, imagine how many things you could do if you weren't on your phone.
Honestly.
Like, and it's not even big things, like, no one's telling you to like go run a marathon, but even like doing your laundry. Like, you could go to bed half an hour earlier, you could get that essay in, you could do so many more things, but instead you're on your phone because you're too lazy to put the phone down.
I think sometimes, because, like, don't get me wrong, I'm a big scroller, which is something I'm trying to change, but I always kind of catch myself at some points and I'm like, what are the last 5 videos I watched? And 9 times out of 10 I can maybe name 2 of them.
And I can't remember.
Like, name 5 things you've seen on Instagram today. You probably can't.
Cannot.
But the amount of time you spend on it, just to no avail.
I think it also comes back to Barthez, our friend, and his kind of concept of the collection and like the fear of death. This is what I did for my A-level EPQ on collecting stuff, specifically vinyl and physical media. But it's basically like we have an anxiety of dying, and to combat this anxiety, we have a collection, because a collection cannot be completed. And then once the collection is completed, the fear of death returns, and then you have to start a new collection. So people who collect stamps, you're never going to collect every single stamp in the world. You're never going to watch every single Instagram reel in the world, but you do it to get rid of that feeling of, it just feels like you're not in time. Like it's like a separate space where you can just exist and consume, which is so late stage capitalism. Can we talk about how let's bring this one of my favorite things, capitalism.
Oh yes.
One of my favorite things to talk about. I don't love capitalism.
I think that's the root of all of this.
It is the root of all of this. Absolutely. And there's a article I read called "It's Not That Deep: The Rise of Anti-Intellectualism." It's very rude.
Don't know if you picked that up, but
someone's beeping. So this is about
patient
fascism.
Sorry, I'm yelling at the car.
This is about fascism specifically. And it's by Silobi from the Out Loud Substack. So anti-intellectualism historically has obviously been used to suppress ideas and maintain the status quo. So an example of this is Nazi Germany, and anti-intellectualism was so vital in the ideology of the regime, because the Nazis viewed intellectual pursuits as a threat to their vision of a totalitarian state. So emergence of pseudoscience came out. So eugenics, which we are seeing a return of. Thank you, Sydney Sweeney. The destruction of literature, think book burnings, or in America, for example, banning books, and the rewriting of history. Again, something. This is the wine talking. Something that is happening because people just don't check things, and they just, it makes me so angry.
Absolutely.
Here is a lovely quote from Adolf Hitler saying, universal education is the most corroding and disintegrating poison that liberalism has ever invented. And if that doesn't scare you, I don't know what else scares you. Go do your homework right now.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and
I mean, that's unsurprising.
the only education that was not corroding and disintegrating to them was propaganda. Propaganda has become a new form of education to instill a sense of nationalism, for example, in the younger generation. That was the goal during the Nazi regime. And I would argue today that we are in a kind of techno-feudalist state, which is past late-stage capitalism, because we're so far past late-stage capitalism that I now call it techno-feudalism. And it's kind of this idea that you're controlled through technology. So now instead of feudalism, like the kings, we've got Mark Zuckerberg, we've got Elon Musk, we've got Donald Trump, like all these people controlling technology and the way we consume things. Are you looking at my stain?
No,
just looked at me over with disdain.
No.
I spilled wine on myself.
I'm just scared of this.
Don't make the same mistake. White t-shirt, not good idea. However, do think that the way in which we consume things and consume things as in Instagram reels and books and what we consume is very much just microdosing consumerism to us.
Absolutely.
I'm the number one victim of consumerism. I can say this.
Yeah. And just to bring back my lovely A-level psychology knowledge, I think do you know about like the idea about like locuses of control?
No.
Okay. So the name is escaping me. 1 second.
Also, I would like to shout out to any other communists that struggle with consumerism. We are real. We are here. I struggle with it every day. I don't like I don't like capitalism, but I do love shopping. I do love things. It is really hard. You don't need things. It's just my fear of death that is making me collect bags.
Okay, cool.
Anyways, interim over.
Fine. We did not make it our 12 minutes.
Okay, but we have 2 minutes left. We need 10 minutes.
Okay, so the idea of locuses of control it's a psychological theory, and it was developed by Julian Rotter in the 50s. And it's he basically says that they can be internal or external. And it's about the way you perceive your actions and the things that happen to you, and whether you think they are within your control, i.e. internal. Like, these things happen to me because I've made them. Or external, i.e. I am just the recipient of what's happening around me. And I think nowadays there's a really, really big growth of external locuses, and people are kind of reluctant to think that they're responsible for the things that happen to them. Which I think, like it's a circumstantial thing, for sure. Like, sometimes, yes, for sure, things happen to you. But yeah, people are just very much, I don't know how to say this without sounding a bit too generalized, but I think we need to take more accountability, like especially when it comes to social media and like scrolling. That's you. Like, you've done that to yourself, and I do it to myself, but like no one is making you do that. And
we're not trying to shame anyone, because we're not above this either. We're just trying to like kind of talk through the actual mess that is this situation that we found ourselves in.
But yeah, people, I don't know. I think everyone's just a bit too reluctant to take the responsibility and come to terms with, responsibility.
Yeah. And unfortunately, if we do think about the attention economy, if you look at this through a marketing point of view, it's not like, if you are not paying for a product, then you are the product. And in that sense, you're not paying to be on social media. You are, being bought by social media, because everything that you're seeing, people are promoting, like even us, like we have to promote ourselves on social media, otherwise no one will listen to the podcast apart from probably my mother. Big shout out to our mothers and friends who listen to our podcast, and everybody who listens to our podcast. You're all our friends. But we have to do it, and everyone has to do it. And either you're buying something, or you're learning about someone, or all this kind of stuff.
And I think that segues quite nicely into what a man called Nicholas Carr says about attention spans. He wrote a book called The Shallows: What the Internet is doing to
our brains.
Sorry, just typo on my part. What the Internet is doing to our brains. And there's a little quote from an interview with The Guardian, which we will also put in the description. And he says, "What we're losing is the ability to pay deep attention to one thing over a prolonged period of time. be a long book. It can be listening to or engaging in a long conversation without checking your iPhone or your BlackBerry all the time.
Oh god, that's from a while ago.
This is from 2010, quite clearly. He continues, any kind of thought process that requires focus on one thing is what is being disrupted. And unfortunately, what another thing brain science tells us is that the process of paying attention, paying deep attention, activates a lot of our deepest thought processes. Our long-term memory, the building of conceptual knowledge, critical thinking, all of those things hinge on our ability to pay attention. And the gist of that is, that internet access is detrimental to attention spans.
I think it is.
100%.
I'm so like, I again recognize that we couldn't do this if it wasn't for the internet, but like I do hate the internet, and we wouldn't be friends if it wasn't for the internet.
No, I
but
know,
like
I
it
know.
does suck.
Just in terms of, I always get like really into thinking about like the butterfly effect of things and where my life would be if certain things hadn't happened, or etc. etc. Yeah, internet's wild.
I just hate
Like,
modern
it's-
technology so much because I have
Yeah.
no control over myself.
Yeah.
So I'd rather just not have it near
Yeah.
me because I just cannot. It's just designed to make you want it.
Yeah.
I cannot
Yeah.
go away from it. Like, and it's just ridiculous because
Yeah.
you know, you sit on the tube and you're like, why is every single person on their phones? When I'm so sorry to my mother listening to this, but when I did acid,
Oh my god.
I just looked at my phone and I was like, what is this black box doing? And I was so scared of the black box. And I was like, what? Why is it ringing? Why is it ringing?
But they are so weird.
And it is so weird. And if you look at it, it's just a black box and it controls your life.
It's a brick.
It's a brick.
Oh my god, no.
This brick is telling you what to do. You, a human being, are being told what to do by a brick.
I have that sober, like, every day. I'm just like, what are you? What is going on? Why?
Well, I do think it was very, very scary on acid. It was like talking to me, and I was like, oh god.
Oh no.
I was like, why does it have light?
Is that Spotify friendly?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Is any part of me Spotify friendly? No.
Okay.
Is any of it Little Dears friendly? No.
Okay.
But let's talk about Booktok properly in the next half of our podcast episode.
I think I am maybe number one Booktok hater ever. I'm sorry.
I do think that when I was around 13, it did help me get into different kind of, it was a nice segue for me to get into some different kinds of books. But then it did get to like, it just got to a point where everything anybody would recommend is Norwegian Wood, A Little Life, Year Rest and Relaxation, and like maybe like a Colleen Hoover. Yeah. And that was it.
Like, don't get me wrong, I think it has a certain set of merits, but I think they are minimal. So for example, it's really revived an interest in reading. Yeah,
I was gonna say the only positive thing is that, in my opinion, is that it's revived interest and it's gotten book sales up, especially during COVID when booksellers were really, really struggling. It really has helped that. And I think it's an effect of COVID as well that Booktok got so good, because we used to have book clubs and we used to discuss books. Absolutely. And even if you think about it, like, how much do we talk about books that we read?
No, 100%.
And we read how many books a week?
Yeah, so many.
At least 2 or 3.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I think in its originary form, it was a kind of great thing. Like, it really revived that.
But like everything on the internet, it just went rogue.
And there was like a real resurgence of like classics and this genre that's been coined romantasy, as in romantic fantasy. And it's made reading more communal, more accessible, and we've got like a real rise of influencers as readers. And I think that's a great thing. But I think it has more, I don't know.
One thing I do want to say very clearly before we kind of get into discussing this more casually is that I am aware that it's a lot of anti-female sentiment to shame women for reading romance and fantasy books and stuff. Not that you're saying that, but it is a big issue, and it, you know, romance and fantasy have, you know, dime books and stuff like were always like cheap fiction that was just bad. The same way has always been a thing. But it's not been this much of a prevalent thing, and it's not been ever marketed as a good thing. And now it's being seen as a good thing, which it is not. I don't care if you read a book today and that book was Colleen Hoover. You might as well have eaten your own foot, and that would have been more productive for you. Yes. Honestly. I agree. There's just things that are just trash. And I'm sorry, laughing at my son's blue bowls is trash. Sorry, don't like Colleen Hoover. That is a Colleen Hoover quote. I would never, I don't have a son. So. And I would never laugh at that.
I have no issue with women reading romance. I think it's a great thing. In the same way that like women watch chick flicks.
I love romance.
I am the number
Twilight,
one
hello,
gal.
number one gal.
All over it. And I think women are so often written off for enjoying romance. And I think that's a problem in and of itself. But what I have an issue with is the TikTok comment I saw a couple days ago where someone was asking about the spice levels in 1984.
Oh!
And I was like,
Oh!
is that why you're gonna read this?
What I hate
Really?
is those like, oh my god, those like hashtag Booktok trend, and it's like leaning against the door, or it's like, ooh, spicy fiction I read, and it like goes from like pink to red to like spiciest. If you want to read porn, read porn. Don't call it literature. I'm so sorry. Smut is smut, and that's just it.
100%.
I don't want to read. I don't want to read Norwegian Wood. It's smut. Don't tell me it's books. It's not a proper book. I hate that book. I hate that book.
I know.
I think everyone should.
Where was I gonna go with that? Yeah, I just think Booktok has really led to a need for books to be first and foremost entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you necessarily need to be entertained by everything you read.
Yeah.
I think
some things can be boring.
Some things can be boring, and let them be.
But
some things can
just go through them.
I think that's what really sets literature apart from film, and I think the two are being a bit too intertwined.
Have you never been bored watching a film?
Yes, I have. Yeah, of course. But I think
do you know how many fucking French films I watch a week?
Yeah.
I'm struggling.
Films kind of more kind of serve the purpose to be entertaining, but books are more there to provoke thought, right? Like that is their.
Well, no, you can't say that to me.
No, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just think they need to be set apart.
No, I disagree. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I think that they're equally. I feel like
I'm also tipsy, so these takes are hot.
Well, English and film student speaking here. I think films and books and any art form equally are like can be deep and can be not deep.
No, absolutely.
And I think that's sometimes things can. Sometimes you can read a book and it can be not that like it doesn't have to be a classic. It can just be a good random book.
Yeah.
But there is something about like the devaluing of literature.
Yeah.
To be said, the same thing as the devaluing of film. Sometimes I want to watch a film. People know that I love Evil Bong. If you know me, you know I love the Evil Bong series. It's a film series about an evil bong. It's really good. And I really like watching it because I watch such complex films all the time for uni that sometimes I just need a break and I just need to watch something stupid. But like I'm aware that is not a good example of a good film.
No.
So, and I think the problem with Booktok is that people are taking bad examples of books and taking them and making them good examples.
Yes.
A good fantasy book is The Hobbit or The Lord of the Rings, something that has active intellectual thought and philosophy 100%. And, you know, ideas behind it. A bad one is, you know, Colleen Hoover, you know, Evelyn Hugo. Haven't read Court of Thorns and Roses, but apparently it's shite as well.
Yeah, but just to clarify, I absolutely adore film. But I think just in terms of the origins of that as a form, you consider like the birth of Hollywood, the purpose of that was entertainment. Like Hollywood films.
It's always books.
Yeah, but I think, but like when they first came about, they kind of served a, I guess, religious purpose. If you go back to like the origins. And then entertainment kind of came in to play later when people realized, oh, we can actually write stuff that does serve an entertaining purpose. But I just think that's become, entertainment is being prioritized over thought provocation.
That's a very good point. I stand corrected.
No, I don't want you to stand corrected.
No, but like I didn't think about that because if you think about it, the printing press was invented to print the Bible.
Yeah.
So it did have that kind of knowledge at its core.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I love an entertaining read, but I don't think that's where we should be placing the be-all and end-all of the value of literature. Like I think, I don't know, it should do more than entertain. As should film, and I love film.
No, definitely.
Like any form should.
I think a lot of the value that I personally get.
Don't read 1984 expecting spice.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Because it's going to open your eyes.
I think that one reason that I chose to do English and film at university is because I personally found so much joy in discussing books in English class,
for sure.
Specifically, or films with my friends after watching them. And the thing that I enjoy about consuming any art is my opinions and the way that I view it, rather than just the art itself.
Absolutely.
Voice crack.
You're fine.
Rather than just the art itself.
Yeah.
But that's just something that I'm seeing go further away because that's how many books I read this month. you know,
It's not a
well, I read this one.
competition.
And then if somebody goes in the comments, it's like, I didn't like this book, and everyone's like, you're wrong. And it's like, people
Everything's-
are okay to not like this
Let
book.
people have opinions.
But also, why did you not like this book? I want to
Yeah.
know why.
Yeah.
I've read books. I did not like The Catcher in the Rye at the end of the first chapter. I finished the book because if I'm going to hate on something, I'm going to listen to it. That's why I listen to all the Taylor Swift albums.
Yeah. Let your hatred be fueled by knowledge. Don't be ignorantly hateful.
Clicking. Agreed.
Come on. Yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of those. Sorry, that got very intense, didn't it? A little bit.
We're very passionate girls.
We're very passionate. This might be our most passionate episode. But I think the tensions with Booktok kind of come from the fact that the algorithm, in a sense, commodifies literature. And we are kind of reducing books to their aesthetic vibes and, you know, whatnot, as opposed to like actual sustained ideas. And like people, I think back to this video, like, you know, the idea of like the performative male. Yes.
Do I know? Of course.
But I just, oh my god, I think back to this video that I saw, and there were these girls in this cafe. They were on like a little terrace, if you will.
Terrace.
And there was this guy sitting across from them, and he was like, you know, long hair, like leather jacket, baggy jeans, etc. He was reading Emily Ratajkowski's book.
My Body.
Yeah. And he was sat there for like half an hour, and apparently he just like didn't even turn one page, and he was just like sat there, book open, like looking all, you know.
I wonder what he thought about for
a man who reads. But I think with Booktok and the revival of reading has come. What's come with that is the desire to look like you're someone who reads, as opposed to just being someone who reads.
I think that goes back to social media as well. It's just like
100%.
Reading is so performative because like Kendall Jenner posted a picture once. I remember reading this in an article, and it was like, what books does Kendall Jenner read? And it's like, Kendall Jenner has read none of those books. I'm so sorry, but that girl has not read those books because I could tell by the way that they were, you know, that they were pristine. She has not read those books. Sorry. But it's this idea that like you read a book and you want to post on your Instagram story. Covers have gotten more postable. I do sometimes, if I'm in a reading slump, I will just go pick a book based off the cover. I have no shame about that.
I have no shame in that, but I think
I can say that I've noticed more and more people trying to make books look more aesthetic. To be postable.
I am guilty. I have many books on my Instagram, but I read them. But I think I have no problem with buying a book based on the cover, but I think you have to buy it because it looks like it's something that's going to resonate with you, not like it looks something that's going to look good on your Instagram feed, right? Like
definitely.
And yeah, I think on a slightly different note, with what you were saying about Colleen Hoover, Evelyn Hugo, etc., there's this real like algorithmic homogeneity, which kind of comes with just the way that social media works, like at its core. We get things that trend, and then these same few titles are really amplified, and something that was supposed to promote new voices and expose you to new ideas is now just kind of giving a few select titles of not that great books the entire spotlight. I don't know, like
I think the problem with short form short form content is that it's not, with length you cannot have depth, like with it being very short, so you are reduced to saying, you know, this book has this trope, this like one sentence for this book, and it has to be sensationalist or people won't be interested.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot to say about Booktok being very good for authors who maybe did not have space before or have any ability to write their books and have them published.
And I think,
but it's not helping them either, you know.
I think if the algorithm worked that way and you got exposed to like, you know,
good stuff,
20 different titles and 20 videos, fine, amazing, great.
Well, that's not how it works.
You'll see the same book with a million videos, and it's not that great a book. It's just like, I think it really discourages exploring like difficult or unfamiliar works that you might not necessarily have picked up, as opposed to just what everyone else is reading.
Yeah, because I do find that I go to bookshops and if I haven't heard of a book, I won't pick it up.
No,
or like heard of the author even. And I do read a lot of classics.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
But if I like, I do think that so I don't really gravitate towards fiction books,
No.
but when I like as in new fiction, and when I do look for like someone I know or
Yeah.
something I know or something I've seen or something that my
Yeah.
friends read or
Yeah.
anything like
agree,
anything
for
minimal
sure.
that I can attach myself
Yeah.
to. Because the thought of just reading something blind does scare me.
Yeah.
And I like that bookshops have started doing those like blind book dates and stuff. I
Yeah.
think that's very
Yeah.
sweet. The bookshops have also started doing book talk tables.
That's
And
actually very helpful.
if I
to me,
see that,
because
I'm what continue.
I find it very helpful because I walk in, I see the book talk table, swerve.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Yeah.
very true.
What are you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say that like it makes me sad
Yeah.
because we have to dumb ourselves down. And I think that
Yeah.
this year something I've been really trying hard to do is just stop dumbing myself down
Yeah.
because I find it a lot easier to like, you know, pretend to be not know something about something
Yeah,
or pretend to be
I
stupid
agree.
than actually, you know, be informed about a topic and possibly make people
No,
uncomfortable.
absolutely.
And I find it really sad that that the literary world feels the need to dumb itself down because it's not a dumb space.
Because
It's an intellectual space, and that is okay.
something that started with a desire for accessibility has turned into de-intellectualizing.
And dumbing down is very, very dangerous because
I think it's a fine line to walk, but there's a real important separation that we need to maintain.
yeah, dumbing down is actually a technical term, by the way.
Yeah.
Just saying.
What's going on?
The fireworks, the truck, or the possible gunshots?
Kind of all three.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore those.
Okay.
I just ignore them.
Okay. Hopefully the microphone is cutting all that out.
Yeah, well, I think they're fireworks, but I've never seen any fireworks.
You've never seen fireworks?
Well, not here.
Oh, okay.
I hear fireworks a lot more than I see them in London.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're always fireworks. Dumbing down is very dangerous because
Yes.
it's easy to keep you stupid and keep you complacent.
Yes.
If you have,
And I think
if you aren't
that
able
comes
to
back
think,
to the Nazi Germany.
yeah,
that you made
fascism.
Yes.
If you aren't able to think for yourself, they
Yes.
can give you things to think about.
Yes.
People do not realize this. It is so deep that people are becoming stupider because fascism is so on the rise in Europe
Absolutely.
and in America and everywhere else. Fascism is
real
coming up. The right
political
is coming
agenda.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not nothing. You have, I don't know. I think one of my closing thoughts I wanted to make was about reading as resistance, but I think that's really relevant now.
Yeah.
And I think,
well, we can do closing thoughts. Let's touch on AI quickly and then get to closing thoughts.
Yeah, okay. So I'll do the reading as resistant thing later.
Yeah.
And I think, once again, serving that kind of fascist agenda is the growth of AI. And, like, don't get me wrong, for a while I was a little bit ignorant about it and I was partial to a bit of ChatGPT. But I'm really, really against it now because environmental.
It's really bad.
So bad.
Did you know that actually the US is cutting down on their carbon emissions just to fuel AI?
Wild.
Yeah.
I mean, cutting down carbon emissions.
Yeah, to fuel.
That's just another.
Just think about that.
Of evil.
The only time a government cares about being environmentally friendly is in order to promote technology that serves it.
Yeah.
Let's just think about that.
I agree. That was a good sentence.
Thank you.
Silence for that. Yeah. I don't want to name and shame, but like people use it for like pro-con lists or like emails, or I knew someone that made a breakup text over ChatGPT.
The thing is,
wild.
What kills me is there's so many things that you make on all these things that you've listed are things that I've enjoyed making with friends.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
100%.
What good is going to the library with your friend if they can't help you with an email? What good is it to, you know, go have lunch with your friend if they can't make a pro-con list about the boy you're texting?
Yeah.
You know, that happens. People make pro-con lists about men.
Yeah, I mean, but like, to what detriment do we use AI? Like,
I think I just think AI should be completely gone.
Yeah. But I think food for thought.
And I get why it's easier. I get why it helps you. It's absolutely not a single argument will ever convince me that it's good.
No. But not everything should be easy.
Yeah.
That's where I stand on that. Not everything should be easy. And I think it definitely can help us understand literature better. You get summaries, analyses, more accessible takes on literature quicker. Fine. But to what end? Like, what?
What I think is scary is the way that AI can mimic things. Like, you can be like, oh, please write me something in the style of Virginia Woolf.
Wild. Yeah. And I think,
like, what?
That's insane. Like, what happens to authorship and art when AI kind of has that ability?
I just think that people that abuse AI don't realize that the more
Yeah.
you put input.
Mhm.
This is a machine that runs on your input. The more you input onto the
Absolutely.
machine, the more of a number you become and less of an
Yeah.
individual. And
100%.
we're all becoming less of individuals
Yeah.
and more of just products.
Because I
And people
remember
don't
when like
realize that.
ChatGPT started, it was stupid. Like it made mistakes all the time, and it was just stupid.
And now it does not.
But it grows through usage.
Yeah.
Like the more people, the more
Like it's
more
Chat
people
GPT
talk to
5
it.
or something now.
Yeah.
You know, we're seeing tube ads
Yeah.
for it.
Absolutely, and that's insane. But like the more people talk to it, the smarter it gets.
Yeah, of course.
Same with any person, really.
And does it not scare anybody that a machine can have human
Terrifying.
empathy?
Terrifying.
What is the point?
Yeah.
Do you know, like some people, and like you actually just
But it
have.
clearly doesn't have the same empathy because a woman commits suicide.
No, of course not.
Yeah. It's insane that.
But I just
Yeah.
like sometimes you have to do things that are hard. Maybe good to wrap up.
Yes.
And
sure.
we wanted to wrap up on a positive note. And obviously, this is a very difficult situation that we're in unprecedented territory. And what we want this episode to kind of drill down on is the fact that it is a lot deeper than one thinks.
Yes.
And we might just think it's kind of silly that, you know, hashtag like Booktok, like, oh, you know, people reading this and this on Booktok, short form content, ChatGPT for your essays, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But all these things are very much contributing to the rise of fascism, to different political ideologies, and de-intellectualizing the individual, and therefore making us more isolated and lonely and disconnected from each other. And it is really that deep.
I completely agree. And I think it's very easy to ignore, and it's kind of quite pleasant to ignore. It's great to feel like, oh, you know, we've got ChatGPT, it's really helpful, it's, you know, making life so much better, so much easier. But
we've gotten to a point we can't ignore it anymore.
Everything's right there. It's all right there. Like, it's terrible. Like, look forward 10 years. Where is it putting us?
Yeah.
Just in a space where we have no ability for independent thought. People are, if you can't think of like a pro-con list for something for yourself.
Yeah. Wrap it up, 5
really
things.
Need to wrap up. This is long.
5 things to do to try and help combat this. So the first thing obviously is to read more. And I'm not just saying read classic novels because I know that might be difficult for everyone. Obviously you should read books, but also just read the cereal box in the morning.
Yeah.
Like instead of going on your phone.
100%.
Read the metro on the tube. Second thing, be mindful. So journal, meditate, exercise, have a cigarette for 5 minutes and just focus on the thing you are doing.
Yeah.
And it seems boring, but you will be very thankful that you did that. Indulge yourself in the arts. So watch a film, listen to some music, paint, write, go to the theater, etc. And just don't go on your phone. Initiate deeper conversations. Talk to your friends about things.
Yeah.
Talk to your colleagues about things that are more for your family. Deeper, start a podcast. Not a literary one though, no competition for us.
No.
But try and dig deeper into things and also remember why you do things.
Absolutely.
Rather than just doing them. And lastly, be curious. If there's something that we talked about, for example, and you're interested in it, just Google it and like watch 100%. A video on it for half an hour.
Yeah.
And like then go back to your scrolling. Like it's okay to be curious about things and to have your own like mini curriculum. Something that I've seen people do is like make their own curriculum.
Yeah.
Like actually, so cool. And that's our kind of conclusion.
Yeah.
And Summer, you had a really great point there.
What?
In one of our closing thoughts.
So I think, Lara's very much pressed all of these really well. But I think just remember that reading can be a really, really valuable form of resistance, especially in today's day and age, where the technology that's being pushed on us is being pushed with the intention of kind of dumbing us down. So,
and just because something is happening in society doesn't mean you have to agree with it.
Yeah.
By the way, because everyone's like, everyone's just like, well, you can't escape AI, and it's like, well, you know what? Like there was a point when society was full of Nazis, and then now we have less Nazis. Unfortunately, still there, but just because something is happening doesn't mean you have to be okay with it. Absolutely. And I am comparing AI to Nazism because it is a techno-fascism.
Yes.
Techno-fascism is what I'm going to call it. I don't know what AI does. I don't know what AI thinks. I don't know why I have to scan my face every time I go to the airport. I don't like it, and I'm not happy with it, and I can say something about it, and that's okay. I think, and just because you have to be uncomfortable, you know, it's okay to be uncomfortable sometimes.
Absolutely.
Delay your gratification a bit.
I think the desire to be comfortable all the time is absolutely killing us. Read for more than entertainment. Go to your lectures, go to university, keep yourself smart. So I think that's one of the most valuable things.
Do a Sudoku, learn to play chess.
In the same way that people go for runs and drink green juices, as well as exercising your body, you have to exercise your mind. if you kind of stop doing that, I don't know. I think we're all in for it.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too. I think that's a good place to close off.
Yes.
Quick admin. Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for listening.
I know this was
a bit
opinionated,
an
more
opinionated
than
one.
our previous episodes.
But thank you so much for listening. And just a reminder that if you would like to see the articles or books or anything that we've mentioned, that is on our Substack. That's Girls Who Cried Wolf. Our Instagram is Girls Who Cried Wolf Pod. If you'd like to leave us a comment or send us a message, we would really love to hear all your thoughts. We also have an email, and it's girlswhocriedwolf@gmail.com. Send us an email there if you have something that you'd like to say. And I think that's it. Leave us a review on Spotify. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. It helps us so much more than you will ever know. And we really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. And we'll see you next Monday for something that we will decide.
We have not decided.
Coming soon.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening.
Gal's got to get to the pub.
Gal's got to get to the pub.
All right. Thank you very much.
See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.